Welcome to Those Flipping Guys. If you're here for the first time, you might have a question. What are these sessions all about? Real estate. Being taught by those flipping guys, two experts that are in the business and successful at it. You will have an opportunity to not only engage, but get involved and talk to them. Even if you have questions, hold the questions to the end and then bring them out and you'll get your questions asked. This is why we love doing these webinars, because it's interactive. We get to meet you, you get to meet us, everything comes together. The first step is total immersion. It's a lot easier when you go to a seminar or workshop in the live setting. However, now that you're in a webinar, there's a bit of a disconnect. If you want to feel the change and experience the growth, you must get involved. Turn off your phone notification and find a place where you can be alone for the next 30 to 45 minutes. And remember to always take notes, because 80% retention comes from an action. The more you put into learning, the more you will get out. Time to interact and ask questions. Members get priority, however, we encourage for everyone to get involved. We prefer people that want to go live, so if you have a question and you want to go live, all you have to do is put the word live in your Q&A box below, and we'll set you up on the queue. If you're not comfortable going on screen, you can go on audio only and ask the question. This is an interactive webinar where we'll have Q&As, networking opportunities. Just make sure to get involved. And for those of you that have noticed the record button up above, it's not that we're recording you. We're recording the session for those that want to come back, especially the members, to see pre-recorded sessions. If you're going to be in a place where you can watch your smartphone or your computer, you can always call in and listen to the session. Without further ado, let me introduce to you two good friends, business partners, and real estate experts, Gene and Angelo, those flipping guys.
Somebody makes $25,000. Is that a bad deal?
This is Gene.
I'm glad we put it for the higher price.
This is Angelo. They have been flipping homes since 2001 and have flipped over 3,000 properties. They buy houses for cash.
All done, baby.
No scripts here, no setup scenes, just real guys making real deals.
We're nice guys.
No matter what your ultimate lifestyle looks like, you have to find a way to fund
Who
it.
wants to make some moolah?
So if you're ready to earn money, balance your life, and live your dreams, meet those flipping guys.
Hey guys, welcome to our next episode of Those Flipping Guys. I'm Gene. Angelo's going to be chiming in also. Thank you so much. We know you have a lot of things going on, and we really appreciate the time that you're giving us. We're going to go talk about some things that makes people successful in real estate investing. We've been doing real estate investing for more than 15 years. We flipped, thousands and thousands of houses. We're in a very competitive market, and we're not going to share ideas that used to work back in the day. We're going to show you things that actually work today that we're actually that we implement. Today is going to be a very special episode because a lot of this business is especially since the Olympics have been going on, these Olympic champions, it's about mindset, and they don't just hope to win, they expect to win, and they go out there and they put themselves in a position. And I think it's really what separates the people from first, second, and third when it comes to these races. Everybody's very talented that's in the Olympics, but it's really their mindset that really sets people apart. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about the mindset of a successful real estate investor. And hopefully Angel lead off here talking about the difference between inspiration and working from a point of desperation.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about the 7 things that gives you a mindset of a successful real estate investor. The first one is inspiration versus desperation. Now, very self-explanatory here. You can tell when someone is desperate, right? You can always tell when someone is desperate. So when you're trying to invest in real estate, you're going to run across all kinds of people, and people sense desperation. So you need to operate from the purpose of inspiration. So what do I mean by that? You need to have a purpose, be inspired, not seek to help people, seek to be of assistance, give guidance, not just getting to the end result for your needs, because people see right through that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny because these people that are calling us, when they want to sell their house, it's because it's usually because maybe there's a little bit of an embarrassment about the condition of the house, or they might be hoarders, or they're financially strapped, or they have lots of pets and animals, and it just makes it very difficult for them to sell the property. And if we just kind of go in there and lowball them and don't make them feel good about their house or themselves, we're only looking at it from trying to buy it at the cheapest way possible. These people are going to steal that and they're going to send us packing. So we try to, uplift them. We try to, establish rapport and, not seem desperate to buy their property. And it really helps out. And I think people really like us and help us buy those properties for that particular, those particular reasons. Now, another way to prevent yourself from being desperate, and this is the second point, is to be working from a standpoint of stacking your pipeline. And that means having a lot of deals in your pipeline. If you're just hanging on to one deal at a time, man, if it falls apart, and these deals inevitably they do fall apart because of title problems or seller's remorse or buyer's remorse or a million other reasons, or you find that there's a problem with a property that you didn't originally find, and then all of a sudden that one deal that you were counting on falls out. Now you have nothing in your pipeline. And if this is all you're waiting on to make your living, it can be very, very difficult. So I always recommend people to stack their pipeline, have multiple deals in the pipeline, meaning 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 100 deals, as many as they can handle at any given time. So that way, when something maybe falls apart, they don't work from a point of desperation. Also, when you're going there to buy a property, if you really need to do a deal, most of our deals start by buying something and then we sell it. So if we really need to buy a deal, it prevents us from having to buy a deal that might just be a little bit too tight or a little bit too optimistic on. And so having a stacked pipeline is very, very important. Angelo, before I tell them about holding the sand at the beach, did you want to mention anything yourself?
It's just Murphy's Law. If you are waiting for one deal to close and you only have that one deal, what's not going to happen, Gene?
It's not going to close.
As simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing too is I always say when you go to the beach, you have to handle these. You have to hold these deals. You have to hold them loosely. And if you've been out to the beach ever and you've ever gone and grabbed a handful of sand with one hand and you try to squeeze that handful of sand, all it does is ends up pouring out of your fingertips. But if you gently grab 2 handfuls of sand and you cup it as if you were holding holding water in your hand, well, you have a better chance of holding on to onto the deal, and the sand doesn't necessarily fall out. But when you are gripping, the harder you grip, the more likely the sand is to fall out, and that's kind of like having a deal.
Now, one of the things that is neat as a real estate investor is you really do have a chance to diversify. You could hold rentals, you could buy, fix, and sell. You could buy, fix, and, like I said, hold. You could even wholesale. So those are 3 ways you could diversify your income. Now, that being said, we recommend, especially in our state, that if you're investing in real estate, you should have a license. So once you have your license, you could show rentals to friends. You can sell a house retail here and there. So you really got to have a bunch of baskets going at once, a bunch of eggs in baskets going at once, so you can really maximize your income. So we really preach real estate diversification, and that's really important, because if you just focused on one aspect and the market shifts just slightly, you could really be out of business. That's really the long and short of it. So when you have all these other things going at once, something's always going to be closing. You're always going to be making income here or income there. And, once the cash flow is coming in, it's a lot easier to make decisions where you don't look desperate.
We did really well. And then all of a sudden, 2007 came around and the banks started closing and the market shifted. So this time around, we've got a second chance. We live in a wonderful country where we get the opportunities for second chances. And we're back into a great, wonderful real estate cycle, right into the heart of where we need to be. And this time around, we're focusing on doing more things. So there's a lot of ways to diversify and make income. And not only that, we don't just do real estate. We also have other investment strategies that we use, to help us with retirement and so forth. So there's a lot of, you got to put your money in a lot of different buckets to be safe when you finally have some money to put away. And if you're looking just to start making some money, I'd recommend buying and wholesaling would be the greatest way to kind of build your cash flow and build your coffers of money. So we've already covered, inspiration versus desperation. We've talked about stacking your pipeline. We've talked about real estate diversification. Now we're going to talk about knowing your why.
This is my favorite one. This is really important because people always freak out when I say this next phrase. I do not do this for the money. Money is a byproduct. We all need money. Money is a necessity in our society, and you need money for nice things and vacations and trips and all that stuff. And I'm aware of that. I respect money, but I don't do this for the money. I do it because I know my why. You got to figure out what it is that makes you tick. That one thing that really keeps you moving, keeps your motor going, keeps your feet on the ground. And it's real simple when you got two kids in a family, as a man to know what your why is. My why is my kids and my family. Another one of my whys is giving back and helping people. And that's what drives me to be successful. I also want to make sure that they see me working hard, me helping others, me giving back, how I treat people. That is really, really the most important thing to myself. So I don't know what your why is. Maybe your why is a Lamborghini, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's not a thing, but for me, my why is untangible stuff. Things that you think, things that is really that drive me is the ability to give back and make my kids really really productive people in society. So knowing your why is essential. You have anything to add to that, Gene?
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people, their why is, man, they just got to put food on the table right away. They need to make a living. They may have had a good job and their factory closed down and now they don't have it. So it may be even more, lower on the level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And, so it's really important that you figure out your opportunity and take advantage of it because, there's probably not any more, there's not really better opportunities out there that we know of. Now, the next thing, Ange, so if you want to get started in this business, or really any business, what do you have to do?
It's essential to have a plan. That's the hard thing too. Where do you do when you get started? Where do you go when you get started? How do you derive a plan? And that's why hooking up with people that are doing it is a pretty it's a plan in itself. So a lot of real estate investors, they work out of their cars. They wake up in the morning, they read some emails, they get enamored in tasks, and before they know it, the sun's going down and they haven't really done anything. And there's a big difference between just being busy and working a plan. So, plan, knowing what you're doing in the day, writing things down, planning out for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. It's all part of being a real business person. And that's what you are. As a real estate investor, you are your own business. But the reality of the matter is without a plan, without writing things down, without knowing what your actions are going to be that day, it's very easy to get distracted. We live in a society of distractions. You get distracted watching webinars all day, and if you never apply anything, it's a waste of time. You get distracted on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on your emails, who can keep up with all the emails you get in a day. So all that stuff is distractions, and it takes you away. But if you're going to get distracted. That's a given. If you have kids, you live in today's society, you don't have kids, you're going to get distracted. So with a plan, it gives you like a fallback point. You can go back. And you can go back to your plan, go back to your notes.
A lot of people, they have so much time on their hands, but they just don't utilize their time properly. You don't need to devote 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week to this business to be successful. If you plan your work and work your plan, you could do very, very well, especially if you can bide your time and you stay focused. Even if you only allot yourself 2 hours a day and you focus 2 hours on an hour for finding buyers and an hour for finding sellers, those hours add up, and before you know it, you've really got something. Especially if you have a really good way of keeping keeping in touch with everybody, and taking copious notes. So that's fantastic. Now this next topic, because it's nice to have a plan, but as Dan just saying, but if you have a plan, but you don't have an attack, you don't have action. Well, what's the sense of even having a plan? And where a lot of people fall short is that they don't take action. And this is our sixth point. We want everybody to take action. And I'll be honest with you, I learned a lot from Angelo in this area, because I'm the kind of person that likes to plan and likes things to be perfect, and then before you ever hit the ground running. What you realize is that what you want progress, not perfection. Okay, even brilliant companies like Apple, they'll put a product out and then they'll revamp it and they'll revise it and they'll fix the bugs. Okay, so they'll do as best as they can to launch it, but they'll come back and they'll make revisions and make it better. You'll learn from your mistakes. Okay, we say we never, Angelo and I, we do jujitsu and MMA together, and we say we never lose, we just learn. Okay, and that's the way it is. As long as you're trying, you're learning. And so it's definitely important to take a lot of action. And Angelo so many times like, I'll be the guinea pig, I'll try it, I'll do it, and I really respect that, because there's been aspects of my life where maybe I should have tried a little bit sooner than I did, because I wasn't going to be good at it, or I didn't have all the answers, and so therefore I waited. I've been guilty of that in the past, and so I'm definitely trying to implement this take action step a lot more in my life currently.
There's so many people that get paralysis from analysis, and it's just it's unfortunate, because some of the brightest people in the world just sit behind and read on how to do things, and I might not be the smartest person in the world, but I am always ready to jump 2 feet into something. So I'm usually everyone's Mikey, like, hey, Mikey will try this, hey, Mikey will do that. I have no problem with that. And I think that regardless, what people start forming an opinion about you, more so that, hey, man, that guy's willing to try anything. Hey, that guy's they're doing something. Not, oh, man, he always messes up, or he always loses, or he failed. It's never that. It's always the latter. So you got to take action. And I would even be, I think something that Bert says is you got to take massive action. And I like that. That's very important. You got to take massive action and be ready to roll. And so with all the stuff and all the webinars and all the education and all the books and all the, you could be the most smartest person in the world, but you don't do something, guess what? You didn't do it. So it's really important to me. The action part is super important. And as far as, the jiu-jitsu part, I mean, that's something, starting at our ages, I've only been doing this 2.5 years, and Gene's only been doing it a little bit less than me. And who does that? Who starts something like that at our ages? And for the record, Gene does a lot of learning. So.
Yeah, man, I got punched in the face twice last night and kicked in the ribs, man. It wasn't too much fun. Anyway, so you definitely want to take action, and you definitely want to not have paralysis by analysis. And Angelo, you mentioned Bert. Bert tells us all the time. Some of the folks out there don't know who Bert is. Angelo is referring to Bert Oliva, who's a very well-respected and well-renowned motivational speaker, and a great friend of ours, and somebody that helps us, that's been helping us with this whole program that we've been putting out. So that's who Bert is when Angelo mentioned Bert. So finally, number 7, talking about create a support network. Why is this important? Why we all need support from time to time. Go ahead and elaborate, please.
Creating a support network is it. I'm going to be really honest with you. You cannot do this business by yourself. I don't care who you are. You need a title company. You need lenders. You need to have a good support staff. Now, when you're first getting started, you can go even a step further, and probably getting a mentor is super, super important, because it can help you with mistakes before you make them. So support network, please, no one could do this by themselves. Don't try.
You know, a lot of people are scared. Like, what's it cost to renovate a property? You know, who pays title insurance? Man, these are things that are very elusive to brand new investors. I remember when I first wanted to do this business, I learned on my first deal, man, I got hard money financing from a private person, a rich person I didn't even know. And I just paid them some money and paid them money every month. And lo and behold, I was able to get my first deal done because I had the proper teamwork and I had proper mentorship, a mentor. And I also, you know, I struggled finding the right people, the handyman, the painters, and there's a lot of successful people out there that want to work with those kind of people. So, guys, the team is out there. Okay, you definitely need to reach out to us and go through our interview process and see if Angelo and I can help you get your business to the next level, or even just started. All right, Angelo, do you have anything to add?
Just, hey, thanks for tuning into our webinar. Please log on to www.thoseflippingguys.com and stay tuned for our next webinar. And also, please go on there and watch our episodes of our show. Thanks.
Awesome. So on behalf of Angelo, myself, and the rest of the team over at Those Flipping Guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully see you soon.
I just want to come in here and thank you for being a part of this session, getting involved and participating. We love serving you. However, if you're not a member, I recommend that you sign up now. If you really want to learn, you really want to be part of a great coaching team, and you want to take your real estate game to the next level, you definitely have to become a member. One more thing, I want to make sure you log on to our website so you can watch our online reality show. Don't miss it. A lot of information, a lot of content, and it's really good stuff. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Register online today and join us for all new interviews and topics. Only on thoseflippingguys.com.